Welcome, everybody, to a special episode of the Movie Mechanics podcast. Today, I am joined by none other than Stuart Pankin, who our viewers will know as the voice of Earl Sinclair on the hit show Dinosaurs. Also, Commander Plank from the Xenon films. My daughter goes around saying Zetus Lapidus all the time. He's also from such films as Arachnophobia and Fatal Attraction. But this only scratches the surface of Mr. Pankin's career, so let's get started. Mr. Pankin, welcome to the show.
My name's Stuart.
All right, Stuart, thank you so much. A new year is already upon us. Can you believe it?
Is it really?
Yeah.
I must have slept through that.
Do you have any New Year's resolutions? And if so, how are they going?
I never have New Year's resolutions. You just try to do good stuff and be good but no, they never last.
I usually try to keep my resolutions simple. Last year, my resolution was to play more dodgeball, and I got it.
My son used to play dodgeball. I love dodgeball.
Oh yeah, did you enjoy the movie Dodgeball?
I did. I liked the movie a lot, but in college, my son was part of a dodgeball tournament group, and they played all the time. He loved it.
Fantastic. Well, my league just got a hit from a new Major League Dodgeball organization trying to get some pros, get some money behind it. So maybe you ought to check that out.
Wow, no, he's beyond that. But wow, I didn't know it was that serious. That loved.
It's not. People are trying. Yeah, I think this year my resolution though is going to be to eat more cheese.
Eat more cheese. It's always a good thing for the cheese industry.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if you don't have any resolutions or any events you're looking forward to this new year?
Wow. I mean, because of the virus, there were some things planned that I was going to do, but they're canceled now. I mean, so many events are canceled. I'm not, I haven't been to a movie theater in 2 years, so
really.
And as far as autograph signing things, they're all gone now for a while, and will be probably for at least a half a year, maybe a year. So no, I'm not looking forward to anything. I'm just happy to stay indoors and do podcasts and talk to people.
Well, yeah, it works for me. Now I understand that you were very good friends with Betty White.
Uh-huh.
In fact, were you guys in a poker league together, a poker club?
Yeah, there was something called the Pico Poker Club, which started before I joined. I mean, decades. Bob Stewart, who was a dear friend who passed away, he was producer and creator of things like Password and To Tell the Truth and all that. All those. He was a game show genius, and he started it with himself and Betty and a bunch of game show people, Bob Noah. I mean, there was a bunch of, and we played about once a month, it was always a pleasure to be in the game. I mean, to look at Betty. I mean, I worked with Betty twice, and because of Bob, we went to parties together. We went to lunch together, and we played this poker even after Bob died. We continued to play poker before COVID hit. We tried once a month. She loved the game. She loved every time we said this is the last hand, she would audibly moan. She loved that game. In fact, in some of her books that she wrote, she mentions the game. But to sit across the table and to have fun with her and to laugh with her, you never got it out of your head that she's, an icon. She's. I usually don't say this. People say, "Oh, he can't be replaced." Yeah, well, most people can be replaced. I can't do the project without him. Yeah, you could. Most people can. Betty White, there's nobody like her, and the career that she had was phenomenal. And just to play with her, be friends with her, and to look at her and say, "Look, this woman, what she's done, what she's accomplished," and never had anybody say anything bad about her, because when she died, I talked to her assistant, and her assistant said, Kirsten said, "The world is less kind now, just a little less kind because Betty's gone." So yes, that's my Betty White experience, and very grateful for it.
Did she have any tells around the poker table?
She was a pretty good poker player.
Really?
Yeah.
Tough read.
We played for dimes. I just got to
Right.
get that out there. We played for dimes, and we're talking about a lot of people around that table that had a significant amount of money, but it wasn't about the money. It was about no. Every time she had a good hand, she did like she loves animals, so she did that. Oh, that's a lie. That's a lie.
That's great. They say that every table has a mark, and if you look around the table and you can't tell who the mark is, it's you.
It's you, yes.
Did you ever have a moment where you're like, I'm the mark?
Well, no. I mean, you gotta play for much more than the dimes to to be worried about that. I mean,
Yeah.
we have people that play, and sometimes you just keep playing. Even if you have 7-3-9 queen 8, you just keep playing because it's fun to be in the pot. No, I'm a superb poker player. I've won over the years hundreds of thousands of dollars playing dime poker.
Well, that's a lot of dimes.
That's a lot of dimes.
You must have a room in your house just for the dimes. That's great. Oh wow. Well, let's move on to Dinosaurs. You gave iconic voice to Earl Sinclair. Even talking to you now, I can still hear it. He was the Dinosaurs' dad. Go ahead.
That's just because I'm hoarse. I always talk like this when I'm hoarse.
Yeah, and he was just trying to keep his family fed, keep them happy. The series, though, ended in somewhat of a dark fashion with kind of a global extinction event of an incoming ice age.
I love it.
Yeah, what kind of direction did you get or inspiration did you use to convey the gravity of that finale after being kind of a comedy punching bag for those 4 seasons?
Just the script. I mean, they wrote they knew the series was coming to an end, and they wrote this the end of the world script, and it was just so touching. And so, I mean, some kids didn't like it. Some parents, some not called and said, "How could you do that?" Well, they're dinosaurs, and they're not around anymore. Something happened, so they postulated that the ice age, I guess it was the ice age. It wasn't a meteor. It was the ice age killer. I thought I took the inspiration from the script. It was just very well written, and I said the words and tried to bring Earl into it, and I loved it. I love the ending. Some people don't, very few, but I loved it. I thought it was great.
Yeah, I think there was a kind of a cautionary tale or a dire warning, right? That Earl had spent his life working in the industry that had created the ice age, wasn't it?
Well, because they pushed down trees. I mean,
Yeah.
they deforestation and sort of a tangential global warming thing about the series. But I don't think that's not why the series was done. The series was done to make kids and parents enjoy it, because it was, as they say in the trade, something for everyone. I mean, the kids love
Oh,
it,
yes, sir.
and the parents love the political satire and comedy in the series. But as far as the ice age precluding or being prescient about what's going to happen, I don't think that went through a lot of the writers' minds.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. I mean, I think that was just a finale thing, but as far as the rest of the show, it was, like you said, it was something for everybody. I remember watching it as a kid, and Not the Mama was such a big deal. Right. But as I get older and I rewatch it, I'm like, there's really so many layers to this show.
Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of writers, a lot of ideas, and you're right. It was a lot of layers, politically, comedically, which is a phrase I hate. That's it, politically and politics and comedy. That's what the show dealt with.
Yeah, very good show.
Social issues.
Yeah, social commentary, kind of parental or familial dynamics between the dinosaurs.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Sometimes it kind of took on a feel of like an after-school special with some of the topics that they dealt with. But most of the time it was about the comedy, and you were a big part of that. Were there any episodes or scenes that really stand out to you in your mind about that you really appreciate still?
Well, you're talking about a long time ago. The ending, the last episode was good. It's interesting. To do the pilot, it took 2 8-hour days to do the pilot. with lots of producers sitting around giving notes and things. Then we were able to do it in a day. I can't remember any. I mean, I remember flashes of scenes, but I love the scenes with Florence Stanley, the grandmother. She was great. Jessica was great. Two wonderful people. I just like the fact that Earl could, do all kind. I mean, he started out with. They wanted to be very rough and tough, and that's fine. And then I said, "Oh, come on, he's got a soft side too," and that was fun putting those elements into the episodes. As far as a particular episode, I can't remember. I'm old.
Oh, sure. You're not that old. Come on.
We did a lot of them. We did about what
4 seasons. Yeah.
Yeah, 3 seasons at least.
Yeah. Well, it's a great show, and it's always worth a rewatch. I think it really did cover a lot of great ground, and there's so many layers. I think you can still get a lot of rewatches out of it.
Oh yeah, I mean, since the pandemic, I got, not to brag because it's not just me, although I am a god of comedy.
Absolutely.
Since the
We're not
pandemic,
worthy.
I got 2 to 4. This is the truth, and it's not just me; it's the show. 2 to 4 autograph requests. Those panko boxes, and they send you. You know what they are? They have the figures of the cartoon character in it. You never heard of that? You gotta know what that is.
Funko Pops. I have them right here behind me.
That's it. So I used to get 2 to 4 a day, from Earl, asking people to sign and send them back. Now, if they put them on eBay, they sell them. I don't care. I don't charge for autographs. But the show, since it hit Disney Plus, isn't that right? It's on Disney Plus.
Yeah, it is. My kids are watching it right now.
It has a resurgence of a fan base, and that's great because it's a good show. I mean, everybody. I won't talk for everybody. I'm very proud to be associated with it. I mean, there's nothing bad about it. There's nothing violent. There's no new dinosaurs running around. I mean, it's not a lot of violence except for pushing down trees. So yeah, I mean, it is a terrific show, and it's great for the family, and that's that. I mean, there's nothing bad to say about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I understand that you're an avid golfer. Is that right?
Well, I was until the pandemic hit. And
oh yeah. Well, are there any, when you go golfing, do you prefer like a scenic course or one that's maybe challenging? What is it that you're looking for in a good course?
Challenging. I mean, I don't want anything challenging at my age. No, you're right. When I started to play golf, my wife encouraged me to do it. I was insane with golf. I ordered every golf magazine that they had. I watched every golf tournament there was, and in the days when I was up and about, we played 3, sometimes 4 times a week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. They're all pretty. I always say, except for one course that my friend and I played that was connected with a hospital, which was ugly. There's no ugly golf course. You know what I'm saying? I mean, even if there's golf courses that go along the ocean, and we've played those occasionally, but they're all pretty. And you don't, eventually you try to concentrate on your game. You don't look at the tree. Although I know the names of every tree on Encino Balboa Golf Course in the valley because I've hit into them, 15,000 times. But when I play golf, I mean, everybody was learning. I mean, and you can't concentrate on the game. I don't care what it looked like. I just want to hit the ball good.
Yeah. Yeah. My dad is also, he spends a lot of time on the courses. The courses here are still wide open. I'm in Phoenix.
Where are you from?
Phoenix.
Phoenix. Well, that's a big golf area, isn't it?
Yeah, we have over 300 courses. And I will say that there is one course here. You said there's no ugly courses. I think there's one course here in our area that tries to be ugly. It's called Rattlesnake Golf. And they have no greens, no fairways. It's all desert brush. And they have done nothing to maintain or manicure the grounds at all.
And it costs 15 cents a round.
Well, they'll pay you if you finish the round. That's what they'll do. But it is just absolutely crazy, and they call it rattlesnake golf because you may run into some rattlesnakes on that course.
Oh no, I've played some courses, even California, where they say if you hit your ball in the rough or in the brush, don't get it. Get it on the ball because there's snakes out there. No, I don't. I'm not willing to give my life for a golf ball, so I stay out of
Yeah,
it.
it's just for fun. Speaking
It's
of
just
fun, if you had, let's say there was a 2-on-2 scramble and you got to choose your teammate and your opponents, who would you pick?
in show business or just in life.
Anywhere.
Well, I pick my friends. I mean,
Yeah.
there's guys that I play with. There's Gibby Graham, Lloyd Batista. I mean, those are the guys that I played with for years. As far as celebrities, you see OJ on the golf course for a while before he became unavailable. Uh, and people used to say, "Would you play with OJ?" Or and other my friends would say, "No, no, no." I say, "Oh yeah, how could you not play with that kind of historical figure? I mean, as
Sure.
long as he's not going to hurt you, yeah,
Right.
I'll play with him." But as far as I used to play in celebrity tournaments, and mostly they hook a celebrity up with corporate people that pay for the charity. They're charity things,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of wonderful golfers out there. Um, but I just like playing with people, with guys. It's more fun that way because I
Okay.
suck, and often they suck too.
One of the reasons I really had a hard time playing golf with like my brothers. I have a lot of brothers, and my dad plays. And the thing I hate the most is they would always like try to correct my stroke in the middle of the game.
Well,
I hated that.
yeah, that there are. I play with a friend who I call him my Gigi, golf god, and he's been playing for 50, 60 years, and he helps me. Not necessarily, and but he does it nicely.
Yeah.
He doesn't say, "You stupid fool," put your shoulder down, whatever. And he has taught me, but nothing. I don't mind any kind of criticism when, if I'm acting, somebody gives me criticism, I'll think about it hard. Golf, no, I'll take it. You say, keep your foot back, I'll put my foot back. I don't care.
They have you wound up like Charles Barkley on the course.
That's right. That's right. That's right. There are
That's
so
great.
many things to do in golf that theoretically will make you better. There's some, like in all things in life, there's talent. You got to have an aptitude. I just saw a video about this 6-year-old kid who steps up to the pool table. He puts his pool cue against the behind the cue ball, and he doesn't even line it up, and he runs the table. I mean, there's just innate talent to things, and there are some great golfers, and then there are some not so great golfers.
Yeah, I'll join that club too. Well, do you have any favorite courses in the Phoenix area? Have you ever been golfing around here?
No, never. I worked in Phoenix once, but I don't never played golf there. No.
Well, on behalf of Phoenix, I invite you to our lovely courses. We have so many great
Well,
courses.
thank you. Yeah, I'll do the rattlesnake course.
Make sure you wear some leather boots so you don't get bit.
I wear usually chainmail when I go out to a bad course.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Well, you've also spent a lot of time on stage. Are there any stage shows that you still have in your bucket list? What roles would you choose? Anything like that?
Well, I've been lucky enough to do a lot of wonderful work on stage. We worked for years at a place called the St. Vincent Theater in Pennsylvania that was connected to my wife's college, and it was started as a summer theater, and she helped create it. And then it became a professional theater company. I've done shows there in parts that I would probably never be cast at in the real world. But I got to play some great parts there for years. We were married there. I mean, we just loved the people in the place. I used to want to play Cyrano when I was younger. I memorize the duel, the lines of the duel. Now, not so much. I don't move around as easily. But to be honest with you, maybe it's lucky. There's no part that I'm really, I wish I had played that. I played a lot of them, and I'm happy to play them. I mean, I never wanted to play Hamlet. I was not Hamlet, and it was meant to be, to quote the poet. And some of those Shakespeare, I did a lot of Shakespeare in New York. Mostly carrying a spear. I literally carried a spear at New York Shakespeare Festival and Lincoln Center. But no, it's an interesting question, and I don't have nothing pops into my mind. Like I said, in the old days it was Cyrano, but now I'm just happy for what I did.
That's
Really,
great.
really, really lucky that I had.
Are there any roles that kind of stand out to you? I mean, you mentioned Hamlet and Shakespeare. Are there any other Shakespearean roles that you really enjoyed?
Uh, no, I understudied. What did I played Touchstone and As You Like It in college. I understudied a lot of people, Lincoln Center and the Shakespeare Festival. I understudied Touchstone, Festi and Appomattox. I was probably the only human being on the face of the earth that was the understudy for Michael. Who's that little person? Michael. Oh my God. He was in Wild Wild West. He's a small person. Anyway, famous guy. Michael Dunn. Michael Dunn. Come on, Sam. Get your Google out when I'm talking to you. I'm going to forget lots of things. It's up to you. But Michael Dunn was a little person and a famous small person actor, and I understudied him twice. Yeah, but there's no roles. I love Touchstone. I did that in college. I did Autolycus, which I loved at the Folger Shakespeare Festival in Washington. That was a standout role for me. I really enjoyed doing that. And other roles that weren't that. I mean, I do a lot of comedy, and sometimes and in the theater in St. Vincent, especially, I got a chance to do some serious stuff. Tally's Folly, and although it's not really serious, Born Yesterday, and Little Foxes, and the Chalks. I mean, I remember the serious roles more than I remember everything, but I remember the serious roles stand out because it was just different. All the King's Men, the story of Huey Long. Yeah, I mean, I remember with love a lot of those roles.
Yeah. Is there any overlap between the Shakespearean comedy or tragedy and the BritBox murder mysteries that you may enjoy?
I enjoy all the BritBox murder mysteries, and the answer is no. No, there's no overlap. But when my wife and I watch TV, it's usually BritBox, and it's usually these murder mysteries or procedurals.
Yeah,
like Midsummer Murders, or we're watching. What are we watching now? The Tower. I mean, there's a lot of very good. We have to put on. We call it. We say to each other, "Did you understand what he said?" And they said, and my wife would say, "Go BBC it," which means put on the captions. It's sometimes tough to understand English.
Yeah,
English
that's
is
true.
my first language.
True.
Goo Goo Gaga was my first language.
That's great. Yeah, the BritBox murder mysteries are fantastic. But I understand that you also enjoy a good Netflix ghost story from time to time. Is that right?
Who told you that? And what does that mean, Sam?
The Haunting of Bly Manor, The Haunting of Hill House.
You go on my Netflix account? Yeah, I like a good ghost story.
Did you happen to catch Midnight Mass?
I did. I liked it a lot.
Same director as those other two shows.
Who directed it?
Mike Flanagan. He wrote and directed all three of those series.
Wow. Midnight Mass I liked very much.
Yeah.
Very interesting. And I thought that guy, Hamish Linklater, is that his name?
Yeah.
He did a great job. Yeah, I watch a lot of crap on television.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is science fiction. It's just escapist stuff, certainly nowadays. And when we watch movies, we try to watch something a little more substantial than that. But I'm watching a thing on, I guess it's Netflix, El Cid. It's a dubbed Spanish thing. I love it. I think it's great. It's
El Cid.
Big production values, and you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it very much. Musketeers on Netflix or Amazon, whatever, is great. We couldn't get enough of that. Yeah, but we watch a lot of that stuff. It's not that I object to American television. It's just that, to be honest with you, I'm hard to please, and it's hard to watch some of these sitcoms nowadays because it's just, I've seen them all. I've been in a lot of them. You just see it coming, and I just, that kind of humor, it just doesn't get to me. I'd rather watch, some monster floating through space because I've never been there.
Yeah, maybe Tubi's more your speed then. Maybe you should check out Tubi. They got a lot of like B movies from the 70s and
Like what?
Like
I
like
like
the,
old
the
movies.
kind of stuff that you might see on Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Oh,
Those kinds of
that I don't. I watched that once. I mean, that's cute, but yeah. I mean, I mean the old movies too. The old, 40s, 50s movies, and some terrific movies that go undiscovered sometimes in most of the public, especially now. Young kids don't care about black and white. I had a friend years ago. We wanted to see the Last Picture Show, and he says, "I'm not going." He says, "Why?" He says, "It's in black and white. I don't want to see black and white." And this was not a child. This was, yeah, kids. People today sometimes miss out on the old good stuff. They don't think it's relevant. Maybe it isn't to them. I'm old fashioned.
Yeah. The thing, I'll tell you, I geeked out to Midnight Mass for probably a month and a half after I finished that show. I thought it was absolutely incredible. The ending of it was fantastic. It started one place, right? We thought we were doing a character study of this one kid who, a drunken night leads to a life of regret and guilt. And then it ends a million miles with this vampire holocaust. And it's like, how did we get from A to B? It's insane.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. Fun to watch.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time with us. Do
Pleasure.
you have where can our audience go to find your upcoming works or your pet projects, anything you got going on?
Well, don't have a lot of pet projects coming up because very few people are working. If they want to know who I am or what to see, they can go to IMDb and type my name in. You can see what I've done. I have nothing coming up. We spent the pandemic doing a Zoom mystery written for Zoom. It was a James Nevius wrote this play. It was a reunion, St. Mary Immaculate High School reunion, written for Zoom and written for the pandemic. So we did that, and people watched it, and they some of them paid for it. But that's how I spent most of that. Now that was a while ago. This year, nah, I'm just happy to collect my Social Security and wait for the phone to ring.
Well, I'm happy that you picked up when we called. Thank you so much for all your time.
Pleasure.
And for a great career that's still entertaining me today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And Stuart Pankin, everybody, thank you.
Thank you, guys.